In this episode, we'll uncover the magic of Cappadocia, from hiking through the Pigeon Valley and exploring cave dwellings to hot air ballooning and even trying our hand at pottery. This is a journey through history, culture, and adventure, all in one of Turkey's most spectacular regions. Cappadocia is not a town, it's a region, and I was staying in the town of Göreme, one of the larger tourist hubs. It's full of shops, restaurants, hotels carved into the rock, and it's just steps away from Göreme National Park and some of the region's best activities and sites.
Cevizin yaprağı dal arasında, güzeli sevenler var arasında, güzeli sevenler var arasında.
There are few places on Earth as otherworldly as Cappadocia, with one of the most unique landscapes I have ever seen. Fairy chimneys, caves carved into the rocks, and a unique culture. I cannot wait to explore it. But the adventure here doesn't start on the ground, it starts in the sky. In the morning at sunrise, hundreds of balloons transcend into the air, and it'll give us a unique perspective of this beautiful place. Hot air ballooning has become the symbol of Cappadocia, and it's one of the largest ballooning operations in the world. It all started here in the 1980s when adventurous pilots realized this surreal landscape was the perfect backdrop for flights. Today, it's how travelers from all over the globe experience Cappadocia's magic from above. Below us is the Pigeon Valley. It's named for the countless dovecotes carved into the cliffs. For centuries, locals raised pigeons here, not just for food, but also for their droppings, which were prized as fertilizer for the vineyards that still dot these valleys today. From above, you can see how nature and history weave together here, ancient caves, fertile soil, and trails that we'll be hiking in just a little bit. It's a view that feels utterly timeless. You really get a bird's eye view of town here. We could potentially land right on a hotel. That was certainly an incredible way to start my trip here in Cappadocia, being up above this beautiful landscape and the hot air balloons. Right now I'm in Göreme National Park. We were flying above this morning, and this is where you find these spectacular geologic formations. They're hoodoos, but here they refer to them as fairy chimneys, and there's some really cool history that has happened here over the last thousands of years. Let's go explore. The hoodoos here, however, aren't just rock. Looking at them is both perplexing and fascinating. If you're curious like me, you'll come to a place like this and you'll wonder who lived here, why, and when. Well, more than 1,000 years ago, early Christians came here to settle. They were being persecuted by the Romans. Using the natural landscape that surrounded them, they dug and carved into these rocks, making homes, churches, and even castles. There are a ton of trails here in the Pigeon Valley. You can hike through Rose Valley, Sword Valley, and a lot of these beautiful hoodoos and other really cool geologic formations. And I usually am out on foot in all of these videos, but today I'm actually hiking via moped because there's such a huge and vast landscape to explore here. And it's quite hot and sunny, so this is how we're getting around today, and I am absolutely loving it. Hence the helmet. Safety first. Coming to Cappadocia isn't just for the hot air balloons, it's also for the remarkable landscape. Right now, I'm hiking through the Pigeon Valley. This is one of the most beautiful areas here in this region, and you see it from above as we did in the balloons. But now that we're down here in it, you can see just this amazing landscape. It's been created by millions of years of water and rain and erosion. There used to be volcanoes here. They deposited soft ash covered at the top with hard basalt. And over the years, that erosion has actually created this fantastical landscape. It's pretty cool. There's this huge valley down here filled with trees. And as you can see, with the water and the years and years in which this has been eroding, it's making this really, really unique landscape. Now, as we walk farther down this valley, we are going to see where hoodoos have been created, very similar to Bryce Canyon, but in this part of the world, they refer to them as fairy chimneys. Just imagine growing up in one of these caves. This would have been the perfect hiding spot. You know, one of the things I love exploring these, this is such a soft material. You can actually see the groove marks where they use tools to carve out these little entryways and hiding places and living areas. This is actually a material called tuff. It's very soft. It's actually made from volcanic ash from millions of years ago. The tops of these tuffs actually have a hardened basalt on top, and all soft underneath, which made it the perfect place to carve these houses. You could spend days just exploring all of these different castles and buildings. Wow, check this out. Look at that. Wow, those are my feet. Buildings weren't just carved above ground, but also below, and the region of Cappadocia has more than 150 known underground cities and structures. I've been talking a lot about these underground cities here, and we are about to explore one. This one was actually discovered in 1972 by a landowner that was wondering where his excess water was going for his crops. So he actually found a room underneath his land. It was later excavated, and they discovered an entire complex of rooms. They've actually excavated 4 floors. There are many more here, and we're about to go explore them. Now, they think that these were built by the Byzantine Christians, but they could predate even that. There are all these little tunnels in here. Oh my gosh. They believe that this complex could have housed about 600 people for 3 months. And this place is actually different than any of the underground cities in this entire area because there were actually some booby traps. They had holes actually above ground where they could pour hot sand down on would-be attackers. And that's because the Christians were being persecuted during this timeline. So many of these underground areas were actually a place of refuge for them to hide and fight off would-be attackers. There are some things in here straight out of Indiana Jones, like this stone door. Look at that. How cool is that? So they could push this across, seal off this entrance. Then from the other side, it would be completely impossible to get into this room. And there's actually an entire series of these doors, 3 of them in sequence, followed by these narrow tunnels and passageways. They were obviously very, very afraid of the people trying to come and get them. This video is brought to you today by Quince. Now, I have been loving this brand. They're a direct-to-consumer brand, and they have everything from clothing and apparel to household items like rugs, art, bedding, and even things like electrolytes, dry shampoo for your hair, and a lot of accessories as well. Some of the things that I'm loving from this brand include this silk cami, which I actually have in 3 colors. I also love this Italian leather handbag and this neoprene duffel, which is actually made from 100% recycled water bottles. Now, I really love that this brand is sustainable. So pretty much all of the fabrics that you will find in the apparel, and even the bedding is made from natural fibers. This is 100% silk. As I said, that bag is made from neoprene from recycled water bottles, and even their duvet covers are made from linen. All these great natural fibers that are much better for the environment than some of the alternatives. So if you're looking for a new place to get a little bit of everything for your home and your wardrobe, I highly recommend checking out Quince. You can scan this QR code on screen to check them out, or I've dropped a link in the description too. One of the things you'll see a lot of in this region is handmade pottery. Right now we're in the town of Avanos to check out one of the big museums here and hopefully make some pottery too. Inside this museum, they have pottery from all the different centuries of history here, going back to the first written people that came through here, the Hittites, which were 5,000 to 7,000 years ago. There's also some pottery in here from the Bronze Age and the Byzantine era as well. Pretty cool. It's also absolutely beautiful walking through here, carved into the stone. Definitely a place you have to check out. I hope you guys are ready for a mess and a creature that looks like it's from a horror movie as a pot. So we've learned that here in Turkey, there are two main kind of ceramic areas. We're in one of them here, and they're actually able to take red and white clay from the Red River, which runs all the way through Turkey. It's the longest river here in the country. And as we've seen in the museum, ceramic making goes back thousands of years here. With a little help, I have made a bowl that looks somewhat bowl-like. So I think this has been a success. There are countless structures like this all over this valley. Right now I'm in a small town at the edge of the Göreme National Park called Uchazar. This big structure behind me is the Uchazar Castle, said to be one of the ugliest structures around. But during the Byzantine era, it's said that up to 1,000 people lived and sheltered in this castle. It's now no longer used to live in, but it is open to the public, so we're gonna take a little tour. This castle is actually the highest point here in the entire Cappadocia region, sitting about 95 meters above sea level. And it's housed people for somewhere around 500 years, was really the center of this area, civilization-wise, from the Byzantine to the Ottoman Empire. And once you're inside here, it's actually quite spacious. Obviously a lot of open air areas to see and explore. One thing people come here to Cappadocia to see is this valley, the Pigeon Valley, the Rose Valley. It has some of the most striking geologic features you will see anywhere in the world. Many of them similar in style to Bryce Canyon, all hoodoos made of different kinds of rock. But up here from the highest point in the entire region, the view is just spectacular. After walking through the valley, seeing all those hoodoos and some of the structures that have been carved into the rock, I've come to the Göreme Open-Air Museum. This is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site because it preserves 15 churches and a ton of other buildings, many of them with still the frescoes painted on the ceilings, and these are also from almost 1,000 years ago, so you really get to walk through history here. This UNESCO site is huge, and the crazy part is that most of these rock-cut buildings are still open, so you can just walk right inside. It's honestly one of the most unique and weirdest places I've ever explored. Nothing like being in kind of a secret chamber. Every cave, every tunnel, every carving is a window into the lives of people who turned this wild landscape into a sanctuary, one chisel mark at a time. On to the next adventure. One of the old Turkish traditions here is the whirling dervish. So tonight I'm at a place called Sarahan. That's how you say it?
Yes.
Yes. And I am here with Hassan. He is going to tell us a little bit about the history of the whirling dervish, and then we're going to go inside and check it out.
So this whirling dervishes dance started in Konya region. It's in central Anatolia. Mevlana is an Islamic philosopher who first found this dance as he was visiting some of our jewelry workshops, and he saw the workers and he started listening the voice of the hammer, and he thought it's kind of a music that he should, so he started to whirl. And the main idea of whirling is reaching to God. So as you whirl, you put one hand down and one hand up, saying as we came from earth and going to the heaven.
I could not do that for half an hour. Wow, this place really is magical. I have had so much fun, from high up in the sky to exploring underground cities, mopeding around the fairy chimneys. This is a landscape that is so unique, definitely unlike anything I have ever seen before. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next adventure. As always, I'm Alice Ford. Never stop exploring.
Benim sevdiceğim